All right, time once again for another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on Facebook, Good Morning Facebook, and on the relevant app, the group messaging app, with live interactive podcasting throughout. Check out all the great channels that we have for you, including Jaguars Fanatics. Got 5 different podcasts running throughout the week. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Hope you're doing well. It is June 20, what is today? The 28th? It is June 28th, Tuesday. The hotness of summer upon us. Man, it has been brutal. There's no doubt about it, but we'll get through it. I don't mind the heat, actually. Actually like running in it, too. I got my workout in early already, though, so I'm good to go. Got to help my mom out a little bit. Got to take a desk down to my daughter at Flagler. Just a busy day, but started off here out in the parking lot at 1010XL doing a flip cup challenge. Unfortunately for my team, led off by our lead flipper, head coach Dave Campo. He couldn't get us off. He couldn't get it going. So I never even had an opportunity. I was batting last. I was going to go last, me and Hick, but they crushed us. We lost. Game over, and it was filled with water. So I think if we had filled it with beer, it might have been a different outcome. But nonetheless, what are you going to do? All right, it's come down. This is, I just hate. I feel like with the NFL, and this isn't a blanket statement because I love the NFL. I loved what they did for me. I loved playing for them. I loved representing them. I would do it all over again without question. I'd play longer if I could have. I would have loved to represent this league a lot longer than I was able to. But I feel like, the stories, now you got, the Houston Texans. Did they enable Deshaun Watson to, help him facilitate his fetish of getting massages from 66 or 77 different women? Supposedly they had set him up with a suite at a swanky hotel. Now, did the owner know about that? Did the GM know? Did the coach know? Did just the security director know? I don't know. But now the Texans are under a lawsuit from one of the alleged victims, saying they enabled this behavior. And it's just, I pray they did not. When do you draw the line? Based off of a superstar and he is. Deshaun Watson, that guy went from the darling of the league to one of the, weirdos. What's wrong with, that's just weird, fetish. I don't know what you even call it. And it's terrible behavior and whatever. But why would you, as an organization, and by the way, it happens in high school, it happens in college, it happens at the pro level, right? You let things slide for your star players. You let things go, right? You want to keep them happy. You're so afraid they're going to go somewhere else. But when do you draw the line? Seriously, why in the hell would you get Deshaun Watson a suite and allow him to do what he was doing? And wouldn't you, question, hey, Deshaun, man, I'm looking through the list of visitors. Holy cow, you've got a lot of different people coming. Are they all massaged? Yeah, they're all massages. What? That's weird. It is. It's very strange. I don't know. I had one massage guy, and he was fantastic, and I didn't need anybody else. I wouldn't even care. But, that obviously Deshaun's thinking of other things while he's in there, I guess, at least allegedly. So, but now the Texans are involved. And, and then you see Daniel Snyder and everything going on with that. He didn't accept a subpoena by the U.S. House Committee. That's going to change. They're going to make him. They should. Stories of, these trips to wherever with cheerleaders and doing this and setting up spots and all this stuff. I feel, and I pray it's not the case. But don't you fear a little bit that if they keep pulling back the onion on some of these owners, we're going to find out even more within teams? And it's not just the owners. It's more than the owners within the organization. We'd rather know than not know, right? If Daniel Snyder was allowing a toxic environment in his organization, then he should be held accountable. There's no doubt. I don't know. It's really disappointing. You know what I mean? Like, you think of the NFL, you think of the Shield, the best, they're the great. Do we have issues? Of course we do. It's like our country. Of course we're the best. We're the freest, but we still have issues. Yeah, but you just don't feel like it, I don't know. I'm not shocked. I'm just, I guess, like, man, I don't know if I really, want to. I mean, I want to know, but I don't want to know, Really puts a stain. I mean, if this is all true, what a stain, no? Marsh Graham's here, my producer. What do you think? Isn't that a stain on the organization, a stain on the team, a stain on the league? Isn't it? Or not really?
No, it is. For sure.
I mean, if Snyder was doing what they say he was doing, come on. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out, but I hope there's nothing more coming down the pike, with different teams. You know how it goes. Once one goes, the next one goes. It's like your vertebrae that gets fused. The next one gets weak, you got to fuse that one. Next one, just same thing, like a domino effect. All right, other news out there find interesting. Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson going to have a boxing match July 30th. Did you know Frank Gore already fought a couple times, or at least once, and won? He had a knockout. Mm-hmm. That boxing's no joke, man. And I see what they're thinking.
Oh, absolutely.
Big money. Now, here's the deal. It's funny. I was asked at Guns N' Hoses, which, by the way, fantastic event here in Jacksonville. The firefighters and the police for boxing. What a great event. They raised a ton of money. 9,000 people were there. Our own E.T. from 1010 was rocking it on the mic. I was a judge. Me and my friends had an absolute blast. It was just a great night. And it was phenomenal. But I tell you what, that boxing's no joke. You see people, like, they get in and they're all fired up. They're throwing these, combos. They look good. And then, wham, they get hit in the face. They're like, what? I can't. This poor girl from South Carolina, she was young, too. And you could tell her face was too cute to have been punched before. You just could tell. It was like, and she came in and she looked athletic and she threw these, combos, and she got hit in the face. Next thing you know, she's flailing like she's fighting her little sister. But that's what happens. You lose all sense of everything. But anyway, these guys.
Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
So I'm standing there, and Leanna Cumber, the mayoral candidate, forthcoming, she's like, we're thinking about, like, celebrities, like, joining. Would you like to get it? I'm like, no. Find a younger guy. Young. And I even told my wife, she's like, honey, you've been hit in the head way too many times. You can't get hit in the head anymore. I'm like, you're probably right. It was funny. But nonetheless, a great event. And look, if these guys can find a second career fighting, good. Right?
A lot of cash in it.
It's a lot of cash.
And if you're a big name, we've already seen this in the last couple of years. If you're a name everybody knows, doesn't matter how good a boxer you are, people want to watch it.
But even not like a Mayweather, but like the Paul guys from YouTube. Yeah. They're making guys millions. They're making millions fighting. Mm-hmm. So I see these guys, hey, because Gore was on the undercard of one of their fights.
Yeah.
One of the Paul brother fights.
Chad Johnson fought.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're getting a nice chunk of change. Because one thing about one of the Paul brothers, I don't know which one it is, maybe it's both, he's really fighting for better pay for these fighters, MMA included.
It's Jake.
Jake's
the main one that does it. Yeah.
Logan and Jake, right?
I mean, Logan agrees with him, but Jake is the one, like, spearheading it.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you can get better pay for the fighters, that's great, right? I don't know. We'll see, but I get why they'd want to try it out. They're young still. They can still take a couple hits to the face.
His big thing is better pay for UFC fighters.
No, I know that. Yeah, the boxers make money once they get there.
Tons
boxers
of money,
make a ton of money. But good for them, man. Good for them. I'm looking forward to seeing. It's on my birthday, actually, July 30th.
Look at that.
Yeah. So we wish them well. Will
you be watching?
Doubt. What's that?
Will you be watching?
No, I'm actually going to be, it's funny. So the Jags go to camp the 24th, and I leave for Chicago on the 24th for a week vacation with the family. Now, that first week, I'm not going to miss that much. Of course, they'll be going to the Hall of Fame game. When is the Hall of Fame game? The first weekend in August?
Yeah, it's the week after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's going to be great, man.
It's going to be freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, man.
Totally.
Dude, when I go to, like, a bar with a lot of memorabilia.
Yep.
Like, I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the freaking Hall of Fame.
Oh, the Hall of Fame's cool. We toured in '95. It's awesome.
They'll have to
we played in that Hall of Fame game. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I got to meet Leroy Butler at the Guns N' Hoses. What a cool dude, man. Really cool.
One of the nicest people.
Oh, my gosh.
Ever.
Like, humble. And what a player. What a career. Hall of Fame, baby. Hall of Fame. That's huge. He was a good dude. And Big James was with him, Coleman. It's always good to see those Florida State guys stick together.
They're FSU brothers, yeah.
I had to bring a couple of my buddies who were Florida State guys over to meet them because they were all excited that they were there.
Right.
You know?
That's cool.
But, yeah, it was good. So I did a little poll. I want to throw it out there, and I'll throw it out to you as well, Graham. I did a little poll on my channel here, actually on the Jaguar Fanatics channel. What gives you, like, the most hope for 2022 for the Jags? Is it the arrival of Peterson? Is it Trevor Lawrence year number 2? Is it the front 7 that they've assembled to put together? Or is it the addition of speed and explosiveness that they've added to the offensive side as well? What would be your pick?
So you're looking at just like a tangible sentence of
why? What gives me hope? I'll tell you what gives me hope. Doug Peterson gives me hope. The front 7 gives me hope. Trevor, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm hoping he's going to be great, but I want to see it first before that. The speed, you're going to see a change in speed, especially at receiver. You're going to see some deep downfield speed with Kirk, with Jones, and you know, Treadwell, obviously, and then that new kid from ND looks like he can run a bit, so you're going to see some of that. Now the question is, can Trevor place the ball in the right spot so they can go get it and make a play consistently, that is. But I would say that would be for me, number 1 is Peterson. After that, I got to go front 7.
For me, it's a little more general than those, but this kind of goes back to Peterson because I'm sure he was a huge role in this.
Yeah.
I would say the general commitment to having better players on the roster.
Yeah. Say hi, Graham.
Hello.
Hello.
I would say the general commitment to having better players on the roster.
Okay. Like the roster's better on paper now.
Correct.
Totally.
And they never, like last year, it was so disappointing the lack of money they spent in free agency. I was like, you have all this money, what are you doing? And
that was their plan.
Right.
They wanted to go for those mid-tier guys.
Right.
They didn't want to overpay for anybody. This year was different. They obviously did.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like but you know the thing with Balky, it's always been value. Yep. The reality is not every good player is on a perfect value contract for the team.
No, right.
Sometimes it's not the best value for you, but it's a good player to add to your roster, so you do it.
Yeah.
And there was a clear mindset of we are going to get better players on this team.
Yeah, and they did. They did.
I think the money they spent in free agency paired with a whole other draft class of like early round picks,
paired with a whole new culture, whole new accountability, whole new philosophy.
That I don't know how many games are going to win.
That should give you hope.
I don't know how many games are going to win.
That's a great argument.
I tend to be more pessimistic that you know, like people that say they're going to win 9 games, like I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think
you never know.
Correct. You're
7
right.
can be 9. Just think about that. So if you win 7, there's chances that you probably could have won 2 more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like close games that you should have had, but you let go or whatever.
Probably more than that in the NFL.
Yeah, maybe.
To be honest, I mean,
we'll see.
So
I'm talking with this team.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I'm saying. If they're so much better, if they're better enough, I don't know if that's phrasing correctly, to win 4 more games, go from 3 to 7.
Yeah.
Then to your point, that probably means there were 4 or 5. I would even say
listen
that
to
got
this.
away.
In '96, when we went 9-7, we lost a couple games last drives, like by a point, maybe even 3. We could have been 11-5 easy. That's what I'm saying.
Look at the Chargers last year.
Oh yeah, totally.
If the Chargers,
they're going to be tough this year.
Oh my God! If the Chargers had 4 to 5 games last year,
now that QB has proven it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Trevor may have the same potential, but he hasn't proven it yet. That kid's proven it.
And getting kind of going back to my point about how they clearly have committed to getting better players on the roster. Justin Herbert, since he got there, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler in the backfield, like
tackles, back-to-back first-round picks.
Right. So huge. Like you've got clear dudes.
Yeah.
voice crack. Yeah. Clear dudes.
Yeah.
To block for you, to throw the ball.
And here's the thing. And again, I'm not going to just judge Trevor on 1 year, but here's the difference. Herbert hits those guys downfield on the – I mean, he gets it to him where it needs to be. That's where Trevor's got to get. He's not there yet. He doesn't throw that deep throw as good as he really needs to, especially on the sideline. He very rarely puts it. So the sideline's here. It's got to be here.
Right in stride.
In stride. So it's got to come over. Here's the DB's hand. Here it comes over. It's on the outside, almost out of bounds, but just on the sideline.
Right.
And I'm catching it. That's where it needs to be.
Because you're not always going to have 2-3 steps of separation where you can adjust.
Am I going to post? Well, then it's got to be out here.
Right.
It can't be. I can't stop and have to wait for it.
Right.
I've got to be out here. So hopefully with the new additions of the staff and the all of them have quarterback experience, that changes. I will tell you what gives me hope. If you haven't seen it yet, freaking Etienne working out in Texas gives me freaking hope. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Holy cow, those feet. Woo! I think he's healed.
He looks good, yeah.
He does. He looks really good. And that drill he was doing, I know it's, he's got to follow direction, so it's not there is a difference, and I only know this from experience because I remember coming back from, especially my knee, my ACL. I could do all the drills. Like, I felt great. I really did. By the time I was camped, because I got hurt early, felt awesome. First time I had to break down and move on instinct, ting! I was like, oh like
no. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and granted, that was a long time ago. Obviously, the way they fix things is probably better, even though my knees never had a problem since. But that's that instinctive cutting. Not where you're being told to go. It's you're going because that's what your body and your mind is telling you to do. What's that?
You can't kind of prepare for it.
No, but he looks, let me tell you something. That drill he's doing looks pretty darn close to instinctive movement. Good for him, man. Good
he's the ACC's all-time leading rusher.
Oh, yeah, no,
dude was ridiculous in college.
I was worried about the foot.
Yeah.
But showing that he can move like that, his foot appears to be pretty darn healthy. And that, we were talking, me and Demps on Monday, yesterday, on 1010XL about, so the plan is you got J-Rob and you got Etienne, right? And the plan is they're going to split something, right? I think most people feel it's going to be 50-50. But let me tell you something. J-Rob's not going to be ready to go at the start. Etienne is.
Right.
If Etienne shows what he showed at Clemson, you're not going to want to take him off the field.
No.
He's a home run hitter. So what does that do to that 50-50? It shrinks it.
It makes it 70-30.
It makes it 70-30 or 75-25, which is, hey, it is what it is. If James didn't get hurt, maybe it's a different story, but it is what it is. They both got hurt. I mean, who knows? Maybe if Etienne doesn't get hurt, he has a monster year. I don't know. I don't think anybody was going to have a monster year under Urban Meyer, but that does give you hope that he's healthy. Because, man, if he's healthy,
right,
we need that home run hitter. We need Freddie T back, Jimmy Smith back. We need those kind of guys that when they get out in the open field, nobody's catching.
You got to factor into that, I would imagine, already probably 80-20 of the running back receptions will be Etienne.
Yeah.
Already.
And here's the crazy thing, too. J-Rob's got great hands.
He does.
Great hands.
Really
and he
hands.
runs routes. And he lined up outside a couple times.
He can catch the ball and he runs good routes. He's just not the same in space.
He's not the home run hitter. But I tell you what, I think he's still a very formidable player, and he will have a role, and it'll be a big role. It's not going to be like he's never going to see the field, but I know this. I know it as a player, when you see something special, like Freddie, you saw it right away. I mean, right away. You never want that coming off the field. Why? You can score from any part of the field.
You pretty much saw it right away with Maurice Jones-Drew as well.
Oh, totally. MJD, you're right. MJD was phenomenal. You knew it.
And he hit, if you remember that first year, he returned kicks.
Well,
and he was really good at it too.
I don't know if you remember this stat, because one thing that when they drafted him, I didn't know much about him because I didn't watch a lot of 10 or 12 football.
Yeah, I didn't either.
They're up. It's on too late. I'm sleeping by then. I'd see the highlights and stuff, but it would never really click. So when they drafted him, I went and looked him up, and his punt return average at UCLA was 28.4 his last year. Punt.
That's
not
crazy.
Kickoff, not kickoff. Punt return.
That's crazy.
And I was like, whoa. That means he's really fast. He's great in space. He can break tackles. Wow. And now you add him with Freddie. Wow. He was a guy, and I wasn't there in the war room, but that's a guy where he comes up in the draft. You're like, I got it. I don't care who I have a running back. I've got to take this guy. Yeah. He's that good.
Is he the best? Is he the best second-round pick in Jaguar history?
Well, he's up there. I mean, Rasheed Mathis was a phenomenal Jaguar. Brad Meester, phenomenal.
There's been some really good second-round picks.
He was second, I think.
I think Meester was second.
Darryl Smith was a second. You know what I mean? MJD was, he was incredible.
There's been some damn good second-round picks.
I think Rasheed is one of the best defensive players we've ever had in the history of this team. I really do.
I would agree.
He was really special. That defense was special. You got to get back to that. They had an attitude. Spicer and Stroud and Henderson and Meyer, Odell, Peterson, Darryl. I mean, they were ready to rock.
Double D.
Then Paz came in, Double D back then. Got to get back to that. I think that front seven that they assembled. Now, they look good on paper. They got to play together. It's got to come together and all that. But I'm telling you, they look like they can be a formidable unit. And if they are, big things are going to happen. You can't get run on, and you got to get off on third down. I don't give a crap what your offense looks like. Eventually, you got to stop the other team.
The one thing I want to see.
Have to get off the field on third down.
I totally agree with you. Defensively, they look like they can really be something. The one thing that I would love to see that every great Jaguar defense has had, those guys back in the day, 2017, I'm interested to see who the vocal leader is.
Yeah.
Who's the vocal badass, I'm scared of nothing guy?
Right.
That was Jalen in 17.
Yep.
And back in the day, you had 4 or 5 of them back in the day. You had Marcus Stroud, you had John Henderson, you had Mike P. And those guys were scared of nothing.
Right.
And
I don't think Calais was scared of much.
No, you're right. You're right.
Not as not as like just in your face kind of stuff. And I like swag. I like swag on a defensive play.
Defenses need some swag. Yeah, in my opinion.
I like borderline illegal.
Correct. And
I know that sounds terrible, but I do. I like a borderline. It's almost a penalty. Not quite.
You don't need 6 of them.
Right.
1 or 2 guys.
Yeah.
1 or 2 guys that are outspoken.
Yep.
Might give you a little extra shove at the end.
Yep.
1 or 2 of those guys. Who are those guys?
It'd be nice, and I think he'll come in with a lot of confidence. I think Tyson Campbell could be a guy like that just by his play. I really do. I think they like his length. They like that he can stick like glue. I mean, he really can, and he's getting better at playing the ball. He got more physical against the run. He really came on. That kid should be coming in.
He got
walking on his toes. You know what I mean? Where he's feeling like, hell yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
He got so much better.
He did.
He was a liability at the beginning of the year. Well, by the end of the year,
a liability in the sense that it felt like he really didn't know what was going on. He was just going based off instinct. And let me tell you, his instinct kept him close. He never got burned. It wasn't like you're like, oh, there we go again. Calm toast.
Right.
You know, it's the worst nickname you can have as a corner. Toast.
Right.
Don't get burnt like toast. Yeah. But it's going to be exciting. And, yeah, I think they give me hope. They do. Foley, Fodakasi, thank you. Sorry, Foley. Beast. Yeah. All my Jet friends who've watched him over the past few years are like, this guy's incredible. We're sorry he left. And he's a beast, and we need that because we haven't seen that in a while.
Good defenses don't exist without dominant interior linemen.
No, you need it.
You absolutely have to have them.
I mean, look, go watch the tape of the games they gave up 200 yards rushing here in Jacksonville. Go watch how the D-line gets pushed around back into the backers. You can't win that way. Can't make any plays.
The backers can't.
The backers get golfed up.
How are they supposed to make plays?
They can't.
They work, correct me if I'm wrong, but interior defensive linemen, do they not almost work like a fullback?
Totally.
They clear the way for a linebacker to make plays.
it's basically this. If you let your guy off clean to my backer, you better make the play.
Right.
At the line of scrimmage, not
the backer better make the play.
No, the lineman. So if I'm a 3 technique and I read and that guard's trying to get off onto my backer and I swim and let him.
And you okay.
And he gets a free shot on my backer.
You better make
that play.
Because that guard's going to get the backer.
The guard's going to have a clean shot. Now,
got it.
If I'm supposed to hit that guard so my backer has a chance and I've still got leverage on the outside or inside, whatever we're playing, and I'll make the play if he comes to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my job.
Right.
I'm not letting this guy free on my backer. I've secured my gap, and if he comes to me, I'm going to make the play. I'm not going to be a robot. I'm going to go make the play. I'm not going to sit there and wait. But that's basically the thinking.
That makes sense, yeah. So
if you're going to let them off, then make the play. If you can't make the play, then let your backers have a chance. Look, I was talking about Ray Lewis and how instinctive and great of a player he was. But let me tell you something. And God rest Tony Saragusa, the Goose, who I've met a few times. He passed away, of course. And he was, talk about a defensive tackle. Him and Sam Adams next to each other, a lot like Stroud and Henderson. Your backers are free. You don't have to. And I remember before I think it was Haloti Ngata they drafted. Before they drafted Haloti Ngata.
Haloti Ngata was nice, too.
He was. And he was after Goose and Sam Adams.
Yep.
Or maybe Sam was still there, but Goose was gone, I think. Whatever. I remember watching Ray Lewis the year before, and I think they tried, I don't know, he had to take on a lot of blocks. And I remember I think it was the Chiefs, the center was kicking his ass. I mean, Ray Lewis you're talking about. Now, Ray wasn't a really big backer. He's big, he's a muscular guy, but not a big like Levon Kirkland, 270, can still run, thump you, take on linemen all day long, yada, yada, yada. Ray wasn't like that. But I remember Ray saying to the media, I went to the Ravens, you got to let me be me. You can't let I can't be spending the game battling with these offensive linemen when I should just be able to go free to the back. Well, let me tell you something. Every freaking linebacker who's ever played linebacker would love that type of luxury. I don't have to take out blocks. No problem. I'll make every tackle you want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it does help, and it's very important. That's why I say a 3-4 defense. Against the run, that nose tackle's got to be stout. Can't get pushed back. Can't get moved. Got to take on the double team. Split it from time to time and make a play. Keep those guys off my backers. If you don't do that, you're giving up a lot of yards.
If you were a DC, would you run a 4-3 or 3-4?
4-3 all day long. I don't like the 3-4 because I like the 3-4
because of what we just said.
But if you don't have the nose, I don't care if you have the outside rushers. Now you got the nose, you got the outside guys. Now you got the 5 tech. Okay, but it's hard to get all that together. Although the Steelers, a lot of teams do it. Steelers, Packers, Carolina did for a long time. I like the 4-3 because the Mike has got the nose. That nose is shaded or on at 0 or shaded. Then the 3 tech's not too far away. You know what I'm saying? So I always liked, and I like the way the 3 backers and then the safety comes down. If you play, we've talked about this, how you keep it all in between you.
Yeah.
Right? I just think it flows a little bit easier because let me tell you something. In a 3-4, the backer that's to the bubble, which means there's an open guard. The bubble means there's a bubble, right? There's the center, the guard, the tackle. Nobody's over the guard, so he's free.
Yeah, because of numbers. You got less guys out there than they do.
Well, it's the 3-4, so it's so different, right? So you have your nose, and then you have your 5. So you have a gap. It's called the bubble. The other side, you have your nose, but you have your 3, and then you have your outside guy.
Yeah.
So you're covered. That's the will. But this Mike, his job is to smash that guard. Can you imagine trying to smash Quentin Nelson all game long? How much fun that would be?
Oh, God.
Talk about bringing your lunch pail and maybe, losing a bunch of brain cells that day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd rather have a 4-3. And, yes, Ray, I'd like to be covered up, too, so I can make every play out there. which, that's what most defenses are built that way. The linebacker and the strong safety, the middle backer and the strong safety, make the most tackles, and they should. That's the way it's set up. All right, that'll do it for me. Right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack, of course, on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com and on Facebook, of course, and streaming on the relevant app, the group messaging app with live interactive podcasts. Check out Jaguars Fanatics channel alone. We've got DeLugo on Duval with Jordan DeLugo Mondays and Wednesdays. We got Men in Teal, Agent K and Agent J. They're on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Tonight, Duval Vibes with myself and UCF Jaguar. You got Teal with it on Thursday night as well as Spittin' Jags on Thursday night as well. So if you want a shot at bringing your podcast over, send me a message, and I'll try to make that happen. So until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace.